Okay, we're back with another part, and in this part, we're going to talk about your hanging gates, and just what happens when someone with the opposite side gate come into your energetic field. In this one, we're going to talk about gate 50. You have gate 50 in your spleen active, right? But you don't have the other gate, gate 27, which would create the channel. So when someone with gate 27 come in your energetic field, you will then have a channel, and also you will then have definition in your spleen as well as your sacral. This will change how you feel within yourself, right? And it may change how you feel inspired to express or initiate or go after something. So the theme of this energy is responsibility, values, and protecting the tribe. So I didn't go over the type of circuitry, but there are 3 types of circuitry, and each of the gates and the channels belong to a circuitry. So it could be individual, it could be collective, or it could be tribal. Okay? So we have talked about those circuitries, I feel like, in another video. So you have gate 50, right? And you hold that protective, values-based energy, but the nurturing, sustaining part, which will be gate 27, will come from others. So around gate 27, you may suddenly feel more responsible for people's well-being or get pulled into a caretaker role. So another aspect of you may awaken, okay? So that's one example. Let's do gate 6. So gate 6 is going to be in your emotional solar plexus. Is that red right there? And it's going towards gate 59 in the sacral. And so this is emotional boundaries and intimacy. So you have the emotional sensitivity from your spleen for closeness, but may not naturally initiate it unless the other half, that gate 59, shows up. So around someone with gate 59 energy, right, in the sacral, intimacy can feel urgent, magnetic, and sometimes overwhelming. It drops boundaries fast, right? So these are both motor centers. So that's something else to keep in mind. I always think it's interesting when people have their motors connected, because it's like it gives you a drive for something, right? Like it wakes something up. It started initiating something. And so in this case, is that intimacy, that connection with others. And so that's something to keep in mind, right? Like when you are in other people's energy, just how you I feel like I said it, and I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, because the reality is, like, no matter what the connection does, it may impact how you feel within yourself, right? And think about somebody who, and the sacral is it's a motor, it's not a pressure center, but for whatever reason, it makes that energy, that emotional energy, feel like you got to do something about it, right? Something needs to be done with it. I don't know. But you can let me know if you experience that energy, or if you know someone who has the gate, and see how that works, how that expresses for you. Let me see. So I did initially look at where these gates belong in the circuitry. Let me see if I can find a picture. Hold on. Okay, so it looks like both of the gates I just shared with you, both of the channels I just shared with you are tribal. And so when we are thinking about those kind of gates, basically, because you also have individual circuitry within your chart, and you're going to have collective circuitry within your chart. And so the magnetic click, right, that socket, when it's plugged into a socket, it doesn't just activate, right, some missing piece. It also lights up an entire style of energy, because how this energy expresses also depends on what the purpose of it is, right? Is it an individual energy? Is it a collective energy? Is it a tribal energy? With the individual circuitry, it's going to bring innovation, personal truth, and creative mutation. For the tribal, it's about support, resources, and the well-being of the group. For the collective, it's about sharing patterns, lessons, and stories for the good of all. So the hanging gates in each of these circuits are, like, I guess, unfinished sentences where they shape what you're drawn to complete through relationships, work, and collaboration, right? So, like, what is the purpose of it? I know a lot of the individual gates is about you being who you are, doing what you do, and in that you are either like shocking people, initiating people, inspiring people to find their own truth, to connect with their own truth through way of being, right? Through you being innovative, through you being different, through you being you. And so all these energies, when they light up, right, when they're activated, they're gonna express differently. They're gonna have a different language to it. And that's something else to keep in mind. And so, you know, what I'm talking about here is very surface level, right? Because it goes deeper. There's other influences to consider and nuances. And nonetheless, the whole point when we're thinking about these circuitries, when we're thinking about your hanging gates, when we're thinking about you being a manifester, right? All of it is impacted by those other things outside of you. It is influenced by other things outside of you. It's influenced by the planetary transit. It's influenced by other individuals you hang out with. It's influenced by your work environment, right? Because of the energies within it, right? Like, how is it influencing you? How is it impacting you? And that's something just to keep in mind. But the bigger thing here is to know thyself. I am a big believer in knowing your energy, knowing what is yours, knowing what belongs to you, so that when you are in other people's energy field, you can tell, like, I usually don't experience this, so I wonder if it's this person. There have been times literally when I've been standing around in groups and someone else enters the group and I start feeling something, and I will walk away from the group just to test and see, like, especially someone with a headache. I don't know why, but when people have pains and stuff, I feel them. And so, like, there's been times where I have to walk away from a group, or I start feeling dizzy or like lightheaded. I will walk away from the group and notice a difference. It happens to me on the train. It happens to me when I'm on in public settings. So it's like when you start observing yourself and paying attention, you will notice these subtle changes that feel like no big deal. You may think like, oh, this is happening, I'm feeling this, but like, it's probably being impacted by your environment and the space you're in, the people you're around. So just keep that in mind. And basically that is how your circuitry and your definition and your openness is basically being impacted. Let me know if you have any questions. We did that.